graduated this year. We are going to stand for the pledge. All right, we are going to have first the middle school code of conduct defense. So middle school teachers, if you could come up for us.
It's my privilege to announce the winners of the Middle School Code of Conduct Awards for Courage and Honesty, and I'll start with courage. Nelson Mandela, an anti-apartheid activist who was unjustly jailed for his political views, but later became the first president of South Africa, once said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." This year I have watched one middle school student exhibit courage in the face of all kinds of fears. Fear about switching from one kind of learning environment to a totally different one. Fear about being the new kid to join an established group of students partway through the school year. Fear that he might not make friends or fit in the classroom or on the basketball court. I watched as each of those fears was gradually dispelled. He worked hard to learn new skills and began to make progress academically. He also hit his stride socially and became wildly popular with his peers. But when he suffered a sudden and devastating loss just 2 months ago, I worried that new and bigger fears would cause understandable setbacks for him. Instead, I saw this community rally around him, and I saw him exhibit incredible resilience. I can't think of anyone more deserving of the third trimester Middle School Code of Conduct Award for Courage than Elliot Greer. Honesty is more than mere truthfulness. The New Oxford American Dictionary says that the word honest can also mean sincere, simple, and unpretentious. All of those words definitely describe one middle school student that I've been privileged to have in my homeroom this year. Academics don't always come easily to her, but she gives everything she does an honest effort. In addition, she is true to her talents, especially her incredible ability to draw. She is by no means a show-off, but when she knows her skills are needed, she allows her light to shine, and she quietly inspires others to do the same. She acknowledges her shortcomings too, but she doesn't allow discouragement to overwhelm her or prevent her from continuing to try to improve. She is also a sincere and thoughtful friend. Our school is truly lucky to have as one of its students the third trimester Code of Conduct Award winner for honesty, Alex Allen. And now it's Mr. Mason's turn.
recognizing the awards for responsibility and integrity today. To start with responsibility, I am also going to quote, as Winston Churchill in his famous laconic style stated, the price of greatness is responsibility. The student that I am recognizing for responsibility today, whether they are familiar with this quote or not, understand the concept behind the quote quite well. Throughout this year, the student has shown a willingness to accept the responsibility that comes with their reputation of greatness. When the time came to be responsible for their grades, they buckled down and got to it, putting in the time and effort both in and out of class. When it came time to be responsible for their reputation as a great friend, they consistently spoke up for those they cared about to make sure that person was happy and safe. When it was time to be responsible for the reputation as a great member of this community, they asked the important questions, stood up for what was right, and actively sought a solution rather than just decrying the problem. From a personal perspective, it has been an honor to have this student in class, as they also remind us as teachers of our responsibility to be great mentors and teachers in our own journey of growth. Finally, I'd just like to remind the student that greatness, responsibility, and silliness are not mutually exclusive. So, never sacrifice that part of you. And with that, I would like to recognize Caprica Shaw Roach for her responsibility this time. Now, to discuss integrity. In integrity, there is an element of doing the right thing because it's right, not just because others are looking. There is a similar degree of integrity in being yourself because that's who you're on, not just because others are watching. The student I would like to recognize today is unapologetically themselves. Sometimes this means that they are cackling in the back of class. Sometimes this is responding to challenging questions with a near encyclopedic memory of what we have learned. Whatever the student is doing, I know it is authentic, and it is clear that their classmates also know this. This student holds near universal respect for their peers and teachers alike, not because exclusively of their intellect, not exclusively because of their dumb, stupid jokes, but because there is not a question that this student is being authentic and therefore acting with integrity. I challenge the student to continue to act with integrity. I challenge you to continue to act with integrity as will bring you continued happiness and success moving forward. Until then, I would like to recognize Milo Curry for his integrity throughout the third trimester. Ms. Lewis is up next.
Today I get to announce self-reliance and respectfulness. So the Self-Reliance Award winner this year for middle school, it was a pretty easy decision for the middle school team. The student we chose embodies what self-reliance is all about. To be self-reliant, one needs to be reliable and dependable. This student was an integral part of esports and drumline while still maintaining excellent grades. They can be counted on to show up and do what they're supposed to do. To be self-reliant also requires perseverance and hard work. In math, they would come in every day asking, what's next? What's next? And getting right to work. While his classmates during 6th hour were moving a little more slowly by that time of day. I have seen this student push through illness to finish papers and assignments for class. I can trust that this student says what he means, and he means what he says. Self-reliance is such an important trait to possess to be successful, and I'm happy to announce that the recipient of the third trimester Code of Conduct winner for self-reliance is Joshua. Respectfulness Award within the Code of Conduct. While writing this, I was reflecting on what it means to be respectful. Is it saying please and thank you all the time? Well, yeah. And we have many students at this school who do that on a daily basis. We appreciate all of them, and it doesn't go unnoticed. However, this award's recipients' respectfulness runs even deeper than that. It is definitely a core value for them. They always have a positive attitude, and a positive attitude lends itself to positive ways of thinking, talking, feeling, and behaving. There's an open-mindedness about this individual that allows for consideration of the new and the different, a courteousness and respectfulness of others' differences of ideas and opinions. There's also a supportiveness that allows students to show in class with me, but also outside of class, to classmates, other people in the school. So it's with great pleasure that I announce the well-deserved third trimester Code of Conduct Award for respectfulness to Jasper Yates. Ms. Lambert is up next. Mr. Tyler, my mistake.
The first award I'm going to hand out is the award and the ability. All right, being a kind friend, always having a smile, being easy to talk to, and having the ability to make others laugh are all qualities that describe someone who's handy. As a teacher, I love watching students here have fun with each other, whether that's in the classroom or at lunch. The student is a friend to all around him and never lets a bad day affect him. He is also very kind and respectful to his teachers. The 7th grade class would not be the same without this student. The third trimester award for Emily ability goes to Miles McAtee. Who is up? All right, the next one I am handing out is gratitude. School life is busy, and for students, it can feel like there are a million things happening all at once. A lot of times, students are always looking forward to what comes next and forget about being present in the moment. Gratitude is a trait that can easily be overlooked during the busyness of school. This student, though, is different. They live in the present moment and are always thankful for what they've been given. Thankful to be at a school thankful to be at a school where they are seen, thankful for friends they have made, and even thankful for their teachers. I also have a great deal of gratitude for the student because he decided to attend our school. The third trimester award for gratitude goes to Mr. Blake Kibler. And now, last but certainly not least, let's give a loud applause to Ms. Lambert.
At the start of last year, if you had told me that the teaching staff would be recognizing this student for a Code of Conduct Award, I think I would have been shocked. Now, don't get me wrong, I've always loved working with this individual, but he can be, I think mischievous might be the right word. It's always good-natured, and he has a wonderful sense of humor, but there were some hurdles to overcome in regard to classroom decorum. That said, this individual has made incredible progress over the last 2 years, both as a student and as a campus citizen. Regardless of the number of times teachers have marched over to his gazebo at lunchtime to tell him and his buddies to clean up wrappers, one thing has always been clear about this individual. He cares about people. He is a loyal friend. He is always concerned concerned about the well-being of others. As a staff, we have seen him go above and beyond to reach out to another, to ask if someone is okay, to check in on how your day is going. He wants his fellow students to be treated fairly, and he actually seems to recognize that his teachers are real people with real thoughts and real feelings. For all of these reasons and many more, it is my great delight to announce that this trimester's Code of Conduct Award for Compassion goes to Coda Bryant. There are students who come into the classroom like a tornado. They demand attention and leave scattered debris in their wake. Then there are those whose presence is more like a light breeze. This trimester, the middle school staff would like to recognize a student who has quietly and calmly breezed through the school year. She rarely draws attention to herself in class. Instead, she is focused and efficient, completing assignments, getting work done. At an age filled with ups and downs, when drama between peers is common, this individual never let any issues outside of the classroom leak into her performance in class. She was consistently respectful to her teachers and on track with coursework. In literature and composition, I was particularly impressed with the quality of her work. She is a good writer and gifted artist. Over the years, she has turned in some beautiful projects, and this trimester she completed an especially well-done poetry book with lovely illustrations. For these reasons and others, I am happy to announce that the Code of Conduct Award for Work Ethic this trimester goes to Trinity Ducard. And those are our middle school winners for Code of Conduct.
Next, I invite the high school teachers up for their code.
I'll be presenting the Courage Code of Conduct Award. Oftentimes, there is a feeling that bravery and courage are synonymous, but there is an important distinction between the two. Both are important, but it is significant to recognize that, as stated by Shauna Waters, PhD, courage is exercising a conscious choice, one motivated by virtuous emotions like compassion, concern, or love. In contrast, exercising bravery is more often done without as much thought. Bravery comes not just with confidence, but often a lack of fear. This is different from courage, where the action is taken in spite of fear. Courage is what is needed to persevere through challenging times. The courageous person knows full well the challenges that they are about to face, but faces them nonetheless. The winner of the third trimester award is someone who knew full well the challenges he would face this trimester, and he faced them not just with courage, but with cheerfulness. Congratulations to our third trimester Courage and Code of Conduct winner, Thomas Nielsen. I'll also be presenting the Honesty Code of Conduct Award. Some use honesty or claim honesty only at times when it will give them an advantage or when they see an opportunity to gain capital with others. However, there are those who are compelled and driven by honesty. They are honest because they truly know no other way to be. The winner of this trimester's honesty award goes to someone who is of this last type. She is honest in every aspect of her life, not because she is trying to gain capital with others or because she must work hard to overcome dishonesty. She is honest simply because she knows no other way to be. If asked what it means to be dishonest, I am certain that she could define it for us, as well as provide us with examples. But in her day-to-day dealings with others, she only knows how to communicate with complete honesty. She strives to make honesty a cornerstone of her nature. As a teacher, I very much appreciate students who are consistently honest in their every interaction with me. It is a comforting feeling knowing that you can take someone at face value. So I'd like to say thank you to our third trimester of honesty conduct winner, Morgan McCants. And now I'll turn the mic over to Ms. Brew.
I have the privilege of presenting the Self-Reliance Award for this trimester. Self-reliance brings to mind the quote of philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, who said, "No one can construct for you the bridge upon which precisely you must cross the stream of life. No one but yourself alone." Much of the journey of senior year is determining what bridge you intend to build. And this student has spent the whole year taking that task very seriously. She's worked hard on her responsibilities in her curricular and extracurricular endeavors, while also maintaining a constant drive to construct her own bridge, both taking care of what needs to be done in the here and now, while also investing time and effort into preparing for her future at GCU and beyond. The Self-Reliance Award this trimester goes to Miss Reagan Caves. I will also be presenting the award for gratitude. Voltaire said of gratitude, "Appreciation is a wonderful thing. It makes what is excellent in others belong to us as well." This individual takes the time to express appreciation to others. Even when it's something very simple, she is always genuinely thankful. She doesn't take things for granted, and even in the midst of the stress of finals week, was always expressing her thanks for any assistance I was able to provide her. It was a joy to travel with her on a senior trip, where she was appreciative of the experiences the excursion afforded. In fact, I am grateful for this student's gratitude. The third trimester gratitude award goes to Miss Avery Simon. And now we will hear from Dr. K.
I'll look to the middle schools because I need to finish this. I look that way. This trimester, I'll be announcing the Code of Conduct Award for strong work ethic. I wish I was better with words at this moment because I really admire this student and I think he deserves the best words. But know that I did my best and the words come from the heart. This student is hardworking, intelligent, and dedicated. They not only complete all the work assigned to them, but also do it with excellence. They will also eat anything you give to them, but that's a different topic. They put the effort in every work they do. Never have a missing assignment. Always ask questions to make sure the work
is completed to the best of their abilities. These students will do any work you ask them from. They are also helpful inside the classroom, have a great participation, and bring energy to the classroom. Thank you for making the class more fun and engaging, and for all the positive energy you bring to school every day. I will miss you next year. Have some fun.
I am now going to recognize a student for respectfulness. And oftentimes when teachers discuss respectfulness, it's kind of reduced down to the student's respect towards teachers and other authority figures in the school. Respect to those figures is important. However, we cannot ignore the importance of self-respect in this process. Just like we often highlight with love, we cannot respect others until we respect ourselves. Now, the student that I would like to kind of recognize today has all of those traditional aspects of respect. They are consistently on task, they are consistently listening to instruction, and they are consistently engaging with the course material. But they also have a great deal of respect, both for themselves and for others. For others, she respects their time and potential. On countless occasions, I have seen the student pushing others to be their best, challenging those students to respect their own time and opportunity rather than wasting it. The student respects their own time and work in this way as well, while also having expectations and standards for the feedback they receive. The student frequently asks elevated questions rather than settling with their current advanced level of understanding. And although they are oftentimes ahead of their grade level and their understanding, they still respect the material, the teachers, and their own time enough to strive for more. Consequently, I have a lot of respect for this student, and it has been a pleasure navigating my first year of teaching ELA with her. She has challenged me to be on top of my own understanding so that I can keep up. Violet Lambert, we would like to recognize you for your outstanding respect. And I'm now going to introduce Mr. Shaker.
There are artifacts here at the school that you remember when there were only 7 aspects to the code of conduct. Got me to thinking, what is compassion? We all know this kind of person. They are the shoulder you can lean upon. They are the ear to listen. They are the Kleenex for the tears, both yours and theirs. They're always sensitive. They're always willing to listen. In them, we can see the difference between empathy and sympathy. Sympathy is merely feeling bad for someone. Empathy, you want to try to feel what they feel so you can help them. This is a compassionate person. But I think a true test of the compassionate person is the ability to maintain this compassion. When you face challenges yourself in life, if you can do that, face the difficulties of life and still make time for those around you, those you care about, even classmates. This is the kind of person who will win the third trimester Compassion Award. Her name is Kenna Hemmings.
Amiability, quality of having a friendly and pleasant manner. This trait manifests itself in a myriad of different ways. For example, did you ever need to get something done? I don't mean regular stuff, I mean hard stuff. Stuff that requires knowing where things are and how to do, stuff. Now, often this kind of person can do the stuff, but they might seem like they kind of don't want to do the stuff. There can be a lack of amiability, but not this guy. Our third trimester winner of the Amiability Award does the stuff that needs doing with a smile and a kind word. This guy will ask you if you need help doing stuff that maybe you didn't even know needed to be done, because he's that on top of stuff. And then you realize that everything was going to fall apart unless that particular stuff got done. And while you're having a bit of a retroactive stress attack, John Jennings takes care of it with a smile and a kind word, and moves on to do more stuff. So our award winner, third trimester for amiability, John Jennings. Also get the privilege of introducing the winner for integrity. And I really like this Code of Conduct Award, especially in the third trimester. After a long school year that's coming to a close, you can really see how people handle difficulties and successes. Integrity is a concept that underpins all aspects of a successful life. It's not something we are born with, it's something we develop over time. Something that grows out of the way we keep our promises and the way we do the right thing, even if the right thing is difficult to do in the heat of the moment. It is something that is developed from experience and thought. Someone who is known to have integrity has begun to create a legacy as one who is worthy of our trust. And this student's body of work clearly, unequivocally, indicates that she is a person of fundamental trustworthiness. And I'm so very pleased to give the third trimester award for integrity to such a worthy recipient, Ileana Ball. Now, Mr. Batchelor.
Hi, I'll speak for the right person. Okay. America is a great nation. I hope everyone in this room realizes that. And perhaps America is associated most with her liberty and freedom. We are the land of the free, after all. However, freedom does not fly solo. It is not just some abstract concept on its own dangling out there. freedom is of little use to us unless it is coupled with responsibility. We're all free to spend our money. Spend it as you will, but if you are irresponsible with your money, you will soon find you don't have much money left to spend. We're all free to speak our mind, but if you're irresponsible, you may find yourself facing charges of slander, perjury, or inciting a riot. We're all free to spend our time. We're all given 24 hours a day, every one of us. And you can't give it away, you can't save it, you can only do one thing with time, and that's spend it. How you spend it, that's up to you. You are free to spend your time as you will, but if you are irresponsible, you will find that you don't have a lot of time left because you haven't done the things with your time, such as getting an education, trying your best, getting a good job, a good career, going to work, doing the right thing. You don't do those things with your time, you're going to find out you need 2 jobs, or maybe 3 jobs. And now, all that free time isn't so free anymore. Americans have always emphasized freedom. Always. We sing about it. We talk about it. But we don't talk nearly enough about responsibility. But in fact, the freest people in America are the most responsible among us. Those people get to most fully enjoy the best of what America has to offer. Our freedom, our liberty. Those people have earned this through their responsibility. Freedom is a right that is given to us by virtue of the fact that we are human. We are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Liberty, freedom, this is an inalienable right. It cannot be transferred. It is yours, it is mine. But in order to keep that, indeed to maximize it, we must be responsible. Our choice for this trimester's Responsibility Award is a study in responsibility. What he takes on, and it is a lot, he absolutely handles. He crushes classes, football, baseball, tech, theater, all sorts of music groups, basketball, drumline, etc., etc., etc. Because of his strong sense of responsibility, he is destined to be among the freest of Americans in his life, and he will be able to drink in with great big gulps the best of America and the American experience. Because of his responsibility, he's going to have a great life. Our third trimester Responsibility Award goes to Mr. Isaac Osborne.
Okay, next we have our Campus Excellence Awards. So we're going to invite up the junior high first to talk about this subject.
For the math award this year, I know I was only here for half a year. I want to thank my math students though. I know I asked a lot of you, I challenged you, thank you for rising to the occasion. I had some amazing math students, but one stood out. One kept coming back for more, asking more questions. What can I do next? How can we keep going? Had a vision when I first got here of what he wanted to be doing by the end, and he did it. After every test, wins 3 tests. I want to go from a 9 to a 10. I want to get those 10s. I want to get 100%. Consistently. So it is my pleasure to give the math award to Henry Lamb.
As all of my students in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades can attest, this year I asked them to do some pretty hard things. I'm not sure why, but for some reason my final is considered insanely hard, still trying to get to the bottom of why that is. But they did a lot of work, and they did it well. In each grade, there were students who struggled and students who caught on quickly. Students who quietly observed and students who engaged and asked excellent questions. A handful especially impressed me, and within that group, one 8th grader in particular stood out. And not because she always aced every test, although she usually came very close, or because she always shouted out the answers in class. Instead, she always politely waited to be called upon and usually included, "Yes, ma'am," somewhere in her answer. As I looked back over my gradebook, I realized that this student did not fail to turn in a single homework assignment all year. As a result of her work ethic and study skills, she earned the highest scores on my 1st and 2nd trimester finals. But the best thing about this student isn't simply that she's smart. She's also kind and respectful. I don't think there was ever a school day that she didn't smile and say, "Have a good one," on her way out the door at the end of class. Students like Camille Peter make teaching a true joy, and I am proud to name her as the Middle School Language Arts Student of the Year.
All right. Science. I'm biased when I say it's the best subject. Well, next. All right. This year, I had the distinct pleasure of having many students who did an amazing job in science. When picking a winner for this award, there were a few students that came to my mind right away. One student, though, stuck out above the rest. The student had over a 98% or higher throughout the entire year. As well, they were not afraid to challenge me when they did not fully understand the topic, or if my explanation just wasn't good enough. On top of that, they turned in one of the better science fair experiments this year. I feel lucky to have taught this student the last 2 years, and I'm excited to see how much they exceed in high school. The Science Student of the Year goes to Naomi Sams.
It is always difficult to select just one student to recognize for Literature and Composition Student of the Year. There are many gifted readers and writers in the middle school, and I appreciate the hard work that every student puts into class. But as I reflected on the year, there was one student who kept coming to mind. This award is not simply to recognize the student with the highest grade or best test score, but it can also recognize enthusiasm, participation, effort, or even encourage raw talent. This year, I would like to recognize someone whose vast potential and inherent talent has impressed me since the start of last year. As a 7th grader, I noticed that this student was a reader. Outside of class, I would see him carrying a book that was not required for class. In class, he would give truly insightful answers as we discussed novels. As an 8th grader, I saw him put more effort into his writing assignments, especially the 8th grade project. He went above and beyond, asking for feedback on his rough draft research paper and practicing his presentation in person multiple times. He took criticism well and implemented every change I asked him to make on his project. In our book clubs, he helped keep his group on track during discussion, and when it was his turn to lead, he had a good set of prepared notes. He also took the starring role in his book club's movie trailer, where he played a very convincing part as an anguished kid stranded in the Canadian wilderness. For all these reasons, I am so proud to announce that this year's Literature and Composition Student of the Year is Angel Gonzalez.
Now, let's see how this goes. We have got the most improved. So this year, the middle school teachers had a difficult time choosing just one student for this award. As educators, we get the privilege of watching students grow in so many ways, starting the day they walk onto this campus. These 2 recipients have done just that. They both have grown so much in all subjects of their academics this year. The most improved award goes to T. Hubbard and Blake. I appreciate it, but you need to calm down. It is to T. Hubbard and Blake Kimber. The next one I get to announce is the Woman of the Year for middle school. The Woman of the Year Award is an award given to a student who has shown character, who does well in her classes, and is involved in extracurriculars. The recipient of this award has demonstrated just that. There are many attributes that go into this selection, and this student has shown her impact on our community in everything, from stellar academics, middle school leadership, to her participation in ukulele. This year's Middle School Woman of the Year is Mary Lambert. Okay, so Mary Robinson. She is so ready me to get. I also have super lunch too, or community service, whatever she says. Then we have the Scholar of the Year for middle school. The Scholar of the Year award is pretty self-explanatory. It means that a student excels in all his or her classes by putting in the hard work and effort to learn what is expected, and then some. However, this student is one who works to learn the content, not just to get it done. She is one who never has to be redirected because she is always striving to learn. The Scholar of the Year for middle school is Miss Naomi Sands. Now for high school. Let's see if I can get through this. All right, School Spirit Award. The award for School Spirit recognizes those students who have demonstrated their support for all aspects of what we do here at JMPS. The high school teachers couldn't choose just one recipient for this award. When you start brainstorming, all these students come rushing through your brain. In this case, though, it stopped at 2. Both are very involved. The first recipient will help in any way she can for JMPS, being around to help even when she isn't required to be on campus. The other student is like the Tasmanian devil when it comes to JMPS. He gives amazing announcements, cheers on teams and players, and is a ray of sunshine around campus. Our 2 School Spirit Awards go to Isabella Garcia and Carson Carter. Next, we have the Campus Citizen Award. A campus citizen is a person who has a sense of responsibility for his or her community. They help others, but do not do it to get recognized. They legitimately care and want to help. The 2 students chosen for this award are shining examples of serving others and being solid community members. The winners of the Campus Citizen Award for this school year are Cato Sinroll and Frankie Levine. Next, the True Grit Award. True grit means to have courage, passion, and perseverance. It means giving it your all, even when things get tough. People with true grit have a strength of character that is not flashy, but that is inspiring. We have 2 students who have had challenging years, but not once did they make excuses or stop giving it their all. They both have continued to show a strong work ethic and have followed through on their commitments, even when life has presented them with hardships. The True Grit recipients this year, Hemmings and Q Hemmings. Most improved. This year, the high school teachers, again, would just choose one for this award. Each person who has earned this award has improved immensely during the years here. 2 of them I had as students, and it is amazing to see the young adults they have become. The other recipient I did not have the pleasure of teaching, but I have watched from afar and have been amazed by her growth since she walked onto this campus. We are so proud of your dedication and hard work. The most improved award recipients are Abby Seppiel, Dory Alexander, and Abigail Oak. Okay. The Woman of the Year award is an award given to a student who has shown character, done well in her classes, and is involved in extracurriculars. The recipient of this award for high school has been involved in a number of extracurriculars, going so far as to be the student lead for the Sparks team. And then she even learned how to speak and sing with a country accent and crushed it during our production of 9 to 5. All of this, and she still kept up with her academics. This year's High School Woman of the Year is Katie. Man of the Year. This recipient of the Man of the Year award is a hardworking young man who can be counted on to do whatever is needed of him. I personally see him on campus being indispensable everywhere, and I also hear about his activities outside of school. I truly do not know how he fits it all in. I think he must have some superpowers because his work ethic is well beyond a typical teenager's. He is the kind of student that illustrates the vision of a JMPS student. This year's High School Man of the Year award goes to Noah Smith. And then the Scholar of the Year. The Scholar of the Year award honors a student who excels in all of her classes by putting in not only the hard work and effort to learn the given content in classes, but also by being interested in the content on a much deeper level than just for the grade. She excels in learning things above and beyond what is expected. Our High School Scholar of the Year is Hazel Ray.